He sacrificed everything to share the truth with the world about the government's COVID-19 policies, including the so-called vaccine. To that end, Dr. Peter McCullough has probably saved countless lives. And his reward? He's just been stripped of his medical license. The American Board of Internal Medicine writing to Dr. McCullough earlier this month ahead of their decision, accusing him of, quote, making numerous widely reported and disseminated public statements about the purported dangers or lack of justification for COVID-19 vaccines. Of course, all of this comes as we continue to see more and more evidence, even in mainstream publications now, that the vaccines not only do not work as advertised, but are in fact causing serious harm, including myocarditis in young people and heavy menstrual bleeding in women. Dr. McCullough receiving an outpouring of support, however, on social media, including from Senator Ron Johnson, who wrote, quote, hearing Dr. Peter McCullough has been stripped of his medical certifications. On what basis did this occur? He has dedicated his life to saving others. This is outrageous and must be reversed. Dr. Peter McCullough joins us now. Doctor, I am so sorry this is happening to you, and it's kind of unbelievable that in America, because you stood up and you told the truth, that this is what happens to you.
It's greatly concerning. One clarification, my state medical license is perfectly fine. I haven't been stripped of a license, but the American Board of Internal Medicine now is threatening decertification for my internal medicine and cardiology board certifications. Now, these are based on clinical care and passing multiple tests. My clinical care is flawless. My track record on examinations is perfectly acceptable to the boards. The board has created a new category of evaluation and surveillance on COVID. Not heart attacks, not diabetes, not cholesterol problems, specifically on COVID. And they've taken issue with statements I've made under oath in the U.S. and multiple state senates. And I can tell you as a doctor or any professional, when we're called to Senate testimony, we take an oath. We're telling the truth to the best we can. And this is a rapidly evolving pandemic. It's a medical emergency. I'm trying to help my patients and help the country. And now I'm suffering professional reprisal.
Let me ask you, Dr. McCullough, what will this decertification do to you? How will it affect your ability to do your job and treat your patients?
Well, I have to face an appeal process, get an attorney, witnesses. This is already a long drawn out consumptive activity. And if I am decertified, I can no longer contract with insurance companies. I can't hold professional privileges at hospitals. Again, this has nothing to do with my clinical care. This has to do with a political stance that the board has taken with respect to doctors who are giving their public opinions on pandemic response.
I find it interesting that it comes now, Dr. McCullough, after there has been such a breakthrough, right? We're even seeing mainstream media now report on the adverse events related to vaccines that you've been warning of for so long. So why now?
It's unclear. In fact, most of the statements they've put in the response documents were from 2021. So you're right. Why now would they attempt to attack doctors now that all of the new information has come out? And it's widely known now. One sees multiple major media stations carrying stories on this. Our CDC itself is reporting to America as of October 21st on their website from the openversdata.com overlay, 14,920 deaths that have occurred, the 3,000 of them within 96 hours of taking the vaccine. The CDC asks people to review the VAERS data when they take a vaccine. So this is all in the open. I've been very clear, and I cite the literature every time I come on the media. Americans and people worldwide have come to expect this from me. I have nearly 60 papers in the peer-reviewed literature on the pandemic. I've published a book, Courage to Face COVID-19, that has over 300 citations. So this idea that a board can create a dispute over, quote, the science, when there simply are scientific data and we can have multiple points of view, and then actually professionally damage me, represents a legal infringement. This infringement, I think, ought to be carefully viewed and sharply viewed in the public eye as a dangerous step towards censorship, where patients won't receive the highest care, they won't receive free and professional opinions from doctors. They're trying to make an example out of me.
And that brings you to my next question. You're very high profile, right? You've become a well-known figure in American households, especially those who are concerned about the vaccine. And I'm sure you're often cited to family practitioners and what you say when families are weighing their options and trying to decide how they're going to deal with this whole vaccine situation. They're clearly trying to take action against you, but have you heard of them taking similar action against other doctors as well for the same reasons?
Yeah, in May, myself and then virtually every other doctor who provided Senate and state House of Legislation forms of testimony received similar letters. We had to go through a lengthy review process and justify every single statement, which we did. My response letter, I think, is over 20 pages long. And now we're caught up in cases that involve dozens and dozens of documents, lots of scientifically supported data. And the board basically is trying to silence us. They're trying to get us out of the media so America can't get a fair counter narrative to what is the government and medical board narrative on COVID-19.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. And as I said, it comes at a time that there is sort of a dam breaking and more accurate, slightly more accurate coverage related to the vaccines, even in the corporate media. Well, keep us posted. We'll be following your situation. Dr. McCullough, clearly you have some support in the Senate with Senator Ron Johnson. So hopefully the board will back off of this if they get enough pushback. Thanks, Dr. McCullough. Good to see you.